Good afternoon, fans. Welcome inside the MCLA TV studio once again. I'm your host, Jeff Polari, Assistant Athletic Director, here with head MCLA women's soccer coach Deb Raber on the eve of the MASCAC playoffs. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to start off by going over the weekend down Senior Day up at Shoecraft Field. The women put on a really strong performance, not necessarily the outcome you were looking for, but a real solid performance. Gave up a late goal to Framingham. Talk a little bit about the game on Saturday. I know Senior Day has a lot of emotional feelings going in.
There's always emotion when it comes to Senior Day, especially when you see Paige graduating, knowing her story. I'm just so incredibly proud of all of our seniors. All five of them have done something special for the program throughout their time here. The team came out, played with super high energy the whole game, as you said, and unfortunately giving up a late goal with just over 4 minutes left it hurt a lot, but we never stopped, and that was the good thing, is we continued with trying to get that tying goal. Unfortunately, the ball just didn't bounce a certain way. We had a couple breakaways. We had our opportunities. We just didn't finish on them. So we're going to use that energy heading into tomorrow.
Great. Talk just a little bit of an overview of the season. I know probably things haven't gone the way results-wise that you'd like to see, so to speak, but there have been some positives along the way. Talk about where you feel the program is from when you started in September to where you are now heading into the postseason.
I think we always, as coaches, we always want to do better, without a doubt. I think there are certain areas we could have done better this year. I think we've learned a whole lot about ourselves, though, and I'm definitely thinking bright future, without a doubt. We're working hard recruiting and whatnot to change certain things that we know we have to do better next year. We had a lot of 1-0 games. We had a lot of 1-goal games, and that was super unfortunate. But they weren't blowouts. I would have to say we played respectfully the entire season. There wasn't a game that I looked at and shaking my head saying we were outplayed or outclassed. I mean, the women worked hard every single day.
Talk a little bit about the offense. I know this was something we talked about at the beginning of the season in our preview about scoring some goals. It's been a challenge. What are some things, again, later on in the season that we've seen? I know you've kind of shuffled some things lineup-wise, getting some other players up front. It has created a lot more chances from my vantage point. So just talk a little bit about what some of those changes have done.
Right, and we always focus on Natalie or Jackie or who's ever up top. The big link for us right now is that midfield. You can have the best forward in the world, but if you can't get the ball to them or her, then you're not going to score goals. And I think Brittany Whitford has really come into her own, especially in the last half of the season. She has done phenomenally well. Kayla Langle, she's done very well. She typically plays outside back, and we've thrown her at attacking center mid, and she's handled herself very, very well. Putting Natalie wide, I think, gave Natalie a little bit more room and freedom to show her flair and her energy, rather than just putting her up top. And Darian just gives 90 minutes of what she just works hard every single time in that midfield. And Allie Farrell stepped in and holding center mid very well, and her vision, she's becoming more and more confident, and it's helped. And we had an outstanding goal the other day. It was off a free kick from Allie, and Natalie was incredibly composed putting it in the back of the net. And if we can do stuff like that tomorrow, good things are going to happen.
So you mentioned tomorrow. We enter the playoffs as the 6th seed, heading down to Bridgewater, 7 o'clock start. Everybody's 0-0 at this point. We played Bridgewater, what seemed like a long, long time ago, back on September 19th, down there, 2-0 decision. Bring us back to that game, what you thought was the difference in that game, and then talk about the differences going forward tomorrow.
Yeah, you said it. It's a month and a half ago. Things have changed. Bridgewater has made adjustments. We've made adjustments. It's going to be a completely different game tomorrow. Down there, I think we had some players who were a little bit nervous about having to face Bridgewater down there. We lost Courtney Heyer in the first 10 minutes of the game when she broke her wrist, so that threw a little bit of a wrench in our back line. Players having to step in and not feeling incredibly comfortable against a team that is high energy, is high pressure. I know Bridgewater does play with a lot of pace, and so defensively we're going to have to stay very organized to make sure, and I know we have the tools to make it happen. It's just we got to make sure we use our toolbox tomorrow.
Bridgewater's got a pretty balanced attack. Nobody really sticks out on offense. Nobody's really carrying the load. Pretty solid goalkeeper, Lauren D'Souza in net. Is there one player on the attacking side that you think that you have to be concerned about, or is it just getting your back line to play together? And
I think we have to be organized front to back defensively, and that includes even just our forwards, because Bridgewater does like to play out wide back into the middle, and if our forwards aren't in the right places to defend appropriately, it's going to expose openings that I don't want to give up. And you know, I don't want to say that there's one particular person on Bridgewater. They're a very organized team. They come at you with a lot of numbers, and they come at you with speed, and they are dangerous on restarts. So I think that was one of the goals they scored on us down there back in September, was on a restart. And you just have to make sure that you do your part in marking and making sure you handle them in that fashion.
So we've talked a lot about Bridgewater. Let's talk about MCLA. Give us a player or two to watch tomorrow that we need to see a real solid performance if MCLA is to come out on top.
Sure. I think Lexi Anderson in the back definitely holds that back line together. She and Marissa do a great job together. Katie's got to have a good game in the goal. I think in the midfield, Brittany Whitford and Kayla Lingle have to stay connected in the midfield. And I think when they stay connected, good things can happen with getting Natalie forward. And of course, you know, you throw Jackie Dwyer into the mix. Natalie gets a shot on goal. Jackie's the kind of player who's there in the mixer to try to put it back home on any kind of rebounds.
Coach, I wish you the best of luck tomorrow, 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Thank you
down
so
at Bridgewater. Third seeded Bridgewater State, 6th seeded MCLA. Follow along tomorrow on the webcast, athletics.mcla.edu. And fans, stay in touch with everything MCLA, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.